name is Sally Christian. I'm a concert pianist and I'm also a piano teacher. I love performing and I love teaching. Sometimes in the moment of performance, with all the excitement and the stress, a memory lapse can happen. And that's very difficult to recover from occasionally. And I have invented a system that will help you to better prepare and better recover from memory lapses. And I can't wait to share it with you. This is one of my favorite early teaching pieces by Burgmüller. It's his Arabesque. I have taken public domain music and re-engraved it using the horizontal 11 by 17 format, and this allows me to get a complete phrase all on one line. Now, looking at this Arabesque, this is called an ABA form. We have our A section, our B section, and the A is pretty much a repeat, except for a part later on, which is very exciting. Now, we have the introduction, two brief measures, and a coda, and a first and second ending that are easy to see at the right-hand side of the page. Now, looking at our traditional sheet music, which was engraved in this format from 300 years ago and was dictated by the limitation of the printing press. It could only go so wide, and we had to use every square inch of the page. Therefore, it's all one long, continuous sentence, no punctuation, no indentations, and no sections. You can't see very easily that this is an ABA form. And what's even more difficult to track is where the repeats come. So if I'm coming down in here, go back to here, second ending, come down here, now I'm back to my A, I don't really know it. First ending, way in the lower left-hand corner, student has to jump all the way back here. For a new student, that's a hard thing to do without losing the beat. Then you come back here, and you have to jump to the second measure, and you end the piece. I love this edition. This makes me so happy to look at because not only can I see my three separate phrases, but I have vertical alignment of bar lines. I had it engraved this way so I can compare like material and I can compare when the material is different. I'm going to play a little bit of this for you. The A section starting here. This is a new chord, and I call this a musical switch. Similarly, we have with our railroad coming down the one track, and I can either go this way or I can go that way. Music has switches also, and I call them musical switches for good reason, because they are problematic. They can often be the weak link in the piece, the spot in the piece where the student gets lost with the pressure of a performance from memory. And with this blueprint system of study, we can work these out in advance and learn them and get them at our fingertips just like that. So the first time I'm coming through here with my, that was actually a 1-6-4 chord, which leads to the key of C major. It's a modulation, it's a change of key, it's a new track. The student learns, oh yeah, the first time I go to C major. Then I have my B section. The second time with the recapitulation, I will show you what the second musical switch sounds like. Here we go. Very unusual chord. That is an A suspended chord. We're delaying the inevitable A minor. And that's so important to know. It's an unusual chord. And when you become comfortable with this and have practiced back and forth, first switch, second switch, and you know them like you know your name. When you go to perform this piece, you've got your mind around it, You've got your fingers around those important points, and you can play with joy and confidence and security because you know you are prepared. This is such a great piece. This is the Bach F Major Invention. It's one of the mainstay pieces in the classical piano literature. It's a great piece to play, and it's a wonderful piece to teach for the construction of an invention, which is a balanced dialogue between two hands, equal writing, equal parts. When we study from the traditional music, it's found in a book on 3 pages, page 1, page 2, and page 3. Now, we, the teachers, know that there are 8 sections in this piece, but our students don't. It makes it very difficult to follow for them, even when we mark it up. And what I have done, and it has made my life so much easier and more enjoyable as a teacher, and my students have benefited so greatly from this, I've broken it down in the 8 sections already. The piece breathes. The phrases, which are all, it's called systems, are separate musical thoughts. And they stand alone. There's nothing in the way. They breathe and you can see them. Let me show you a little bit how each of these systems start. The opening, of course. System 2. And finally System 3 coming down. And it ends on our modulation of C. Now here comes the development of the piece. Starting here, now the left hand gets to start, and you can start like that because you see it and you have practiced it like this. At the end of that line comes something which I call a link measure. And I stopped my system here because this is really a turnaround in the piece. It links 2 different sections together. And look what Bach did. He took this very dramatic, unexpected, and sudden harmony. Of course, it leads us to G minor at the beginning of our next system. And at the end of that system, we have another link measure in the right hand. Why is Bach giving us these extreme harmonies like this? To lead us to probably the most difficult section in the piece. Now with our standard music, that begins here and goes up here. It's very hard to see that it's really one musical thought. It's hard for your eyes to jump here. And these are spaced very wide apart, and these are closer together. Is it really the same material? Yes, it is. Now what I do with these charts, when needed, is to include an addendum. And I have broken down that 5-measure system with the corresponding supporting harmonies underneath. So that section sounds like this when you play it. So your student can start here and end. Have them play this 5 times in a row, looking right from here. And then look at the supporting chords underneath. They're all 5/7 chords going down the scale. Matches. And here's a delayed E flat. He starts and gives here the harmony we want, leading to B flat major. One of the other things that I include that is going to help away from the piano, I'm a big believer in studying music away from the keyboard. This is the satellite overview, which comes with your chart, and it's got the whole piece at a glance. So if you can actually play this through in your mind, looking at it in its appropriate sections, and know where you are and hear it in your mind, you're going to have a better grasp on the piece. And as far as memory goes, We've just about eliminated the stress of memory lapses because we have practiced these out of order, out of context. We can start at any one of these as a jump point and do it with ease and facility instantly. Now, what a wonderful relief that is for the student and for the teacher to know that we're prepared. And when you play this piece in public for memory, it's a breeze. You're going to ask yourself, after you've gotten used to these charts and seen the incredible benefits, why weren't we taught this in the first place? Thank you. I encourage you to look at the website with the videos and the companion charts that are available for digital download. I made these charts for you, for the piano teachers and the music students, and everybody that wants to learn this classical music in an easy, quick, fun, and thorough way. And I promise you that the next time you play something for memory, having used the chart is going to make such a difference. You will know where you are in the piece, you will relax with the process, and give the most effortless performance.